What is going on YouTube? Well, today we want to talk about I haven't done a video really discussing this in a while, so I thought I'd bring it back up. Just a heads up that this is not a video. Obviously, you read the title and see the thumbnail. This is not a hate video or calling out video or saying that these channels are not worthy or anything like that. In fact, I don't plan on actually mentioning any of the channels, that I have stopped following and stuff like that. But just in general, talking about how things have changed in my views are on YouTube. What I watch as much anymore. A few years ago, obviously, when I started this YouTube journey, I was literally watching. God, I don't even know. I recently cleaned up some of my subscription, who I was subscribed to, because there was just so much people. I think it was over 1,000 people or something like that, and most of the channels I didn't even watch anymore. A lot of which just either don't make videos anymore, or just all in general, just nothing that I want to watch, I guess. Now, what had happened for the most part is, I don't know if I've just... Okay, so we talked about how I don't really collect retro games anymore. A lot of what you see behind me and some games off to the side is what I have left. But other than that, I focus mostly on just playing games nowadays. So obviously, channels that are too... I don't know. It's a hard topic to discuss, because I don't want people to think that I just hate people now because they retro game collect and I don't. It's just not the passion, but probably just the whole, just doesn't interest me as much. So obviously the channels that I have not become friends with over the years or watch frequently, I have kind of steered away from. Now, this is not to say that they make bad content or anything like that, or that, like I said earlier, that I dislike them by any means. It just means that I'm not as much into that content, and I'm trying to clean up my list as much as possible. Now, even after having that many subscriptions to people on YouTube and stuff like that, I ended up still having a bunch left. And I've really been focusing more on commenting on videos I've actually watched, because I noticed that I watch a lot of videos and then I don't comment. And I've had some, someone reach out to me saying, do you not watch my stuff anymore? And I'm just kind of like, no, I watch it. I just, for the most part, don't comment, which I'm going to work on doing more of when I do watch some videos. But why did I unfollow a lot of, especially retro game themed channels? And I just kind of got tired of the content. Someone had mentioned in my last video, and then one of the comments, that YouTube had become so oversaturated with retro game content, and specifically, resellers, pickup people, and stuff like that. And it's been like that. It's been like that for a while. Let's just say that I think that, and I made a video talking about how I feel like recently that the retro game scene on YouTube has kind of diminished, where we don't have channels that were once huge getting as many views. And it seems like newer channels are kind of struggling to take off. Sorry, coffee pause. And it's not to say that the hobby's dead, and I'm not trying to say the hobby's dead or that it's dead completely on YouTube. It's just a lot of channels that I had watched before, I'd recently watched, a lot of their average viewership seemed to dip off, or not growing as much as they once did. But I don't know. It's just kind of seemed to me, obviously I've always been kind of steered away from the cocky kind of person on YouTube. Specifically people that will dog somebody for giving them such a great deal. Now, I'm not saying that if you go on YouTube and you make a video saying, hey, I got this copy of a game that's worth $100 for $5 or something like that. I'm not saying that you're a bad person or anything, especially if you're more humbled about it and grateful. That to me is a lot more admirable than, I can't remember who it was recently that popped up in my recommendations, said that they found at a garage sale, God, it was some game, I can't remember what it was, but they were bragging about getting it for like very cheap. And it wasn't like a grateful brag. I don't know if that's actually a thing, but they were dogging the seller, just talking about how they were dumb, they didn't know what they had, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I'm a firm believer in, you know, what goes around comes around. So if you rip people off, you do any of this nasty stuff like that, besides obviously God and stuff seeing it, I just feel like the balance in nature and stuff like that will come around to bite you in the butt. So that's why a lot of times in the past, yes, have I gotten very good deals for cheap? Of course, I think a lot of us have, and of course, was I happy? Yes. But I didn't go around and start making YouTube videos and stuff about that, making fun of people or talking down about them, saying that they're basically, in a nice way, saying they're stupid because they don't know. I've always just been very grateful for what I have. And then also, too, yeah, I've gotten a little too much stuff. And I learned the hard way that that's not really the best way to do it. But yeah, there's been a lot of channels. I don't know. And like I said, it's not me talking bad about them or saying that they're good or not good enough for me anymore. I think a lot of times it's just I've gotten so sick of of watching the same thing over and over again. I just haven't enjoyed it as much. Obviously, there's YouTube channels that I've still, even from this time on, love and watch all the time and still continue to support and entertain. But it's definitely gone away from I'm gonna watch every video that these people put out. And a big thing that I've talked about in the past was trying too hard to be seen by big channels, you know, whether it be donating a little bit of money here or there, trying to get them to reach out to them to try to get them to do stuff with me and blah blah blah. And just in general, yeah, supporting them. I think my wife one time, God, I can't remember which channel it was, but I said that I was a little just anxious because I was trying to talk to them about doing something, and she's just kind of like, well, if it doesn't work out, just stop. I mean, you don't even know them. You're never going to see them probably in real life. You're never going to meet them. They've done nothing for you in general besides maybe provided you with a little bit of entertainment. And that's the same with like any celebrities. They haven't done really nothing for you. So the fact that you go crazy over trying to get their approval of something is ridiculous. I would never want anybody that watches my channel and stuff like that try too hard to get my approval over something. And it's just not the way it should be. You guys, you shouldn't ever try to impress too much people that you're never gonna meet, I think, or like I just said, that or don't care about you. There's people out there, your friends, your family, and stuff like that will be there day to day for you. But Joe Smo, who has 100,000 subscribers, who comments very rarely on your comment or replies to your comments, or if you try to help them out because so and so something happened, then it's not worth it, guys. I mean, they're never going to give you a second glance. Obviously, there is some people around here that are different, that are great people, that have, I've talked to some people and stuff like that. LA Beast has been one. I'm actually a mod on his live streams and stuff like that. He's got a huge following, and I've been watching him for years. He's such a great guy and everything, very down to earth. But there is a lot of people out there that I don't think that are that way. They just use YouTube and stuff like that as they have a character on YouTube. I've talked about that too. A big example is a channel, I believe, I know they call him Sketch. I've only seen him every once in a while because I enjoy watching some queso videos and stuff like that, where he plays certain funny games. But you can tell that for the most part he plays this character on YouTube and stuff like that, but out in the general public it's a totally different person. And I think that's a lot of times with a lot of these YouTube channels, where you see what they want you to see. Same with celebrities, once again, actors, actresses, sports athletes, and everything like that. You see what they want you to see, and then behind closed doors they're completely different people. That's the way it is. Smoke and mirrors, guys. I'm not going to say I'm the perfect person. I try to be more natural and raw in my videos nowadays that kind of lean more towards what I'm actually like in real life. But I mean, that's obviously what you give me. You don't get no scripts. You don't get some fake videos or anything like that saying that, oh, I bought this game, or so I bought this game for freaking $10, and it's worth $200, and then in reality I really paid $150, but I want you guys to be impressed by what I got. But YouTube is a business, and I've said that before. YouTube is about money. People here this is their job, and my retro life recently had announced that he has gone full-time YouTuber, from what I understand, and I enjoyed his videos. I enjoy his videos, especially since it's like a time warp. It's just remembering, just seeing videos from back then, seeing how, you know, it used to be growing up, because, you know, closing in, I'm 38 years old now, and I still find myself, you know, with nostalgia and stuff like that, watching old 90s YouTube videos and stuff like that, or YouTube videos based on stuff in the 90s, just to get kind of a relive what, you know, my childhood was like, because it feels like the older I get, the more I forget about it, or I forget stuff. And my wife and I, we were laughing the other day because we were watching a video about 90s toys and stuff like that, some of them we still remembered, or we had forgotten all about, and it was just really great. But YouTube's a journey, especially owning a channel. Sorry, but I've had so much fun over the years doing this, and I still have fun talking to you guys about games and other stuff in the comments below. But it's just all changes, and you know, like I said, I spent so much time in the past trying to win approval of bigger channels and earn the respect of other people around here, that I was willing to make fake content and do all this other stuff just to try to be seen. And now that I enjoy just doing more of like videos like this, not trying to pump out a video every 3 days. Like, I recently actually just took like 2 weeks off, which was nice. Yeah, I'm not getting money or getting an insane amount of views or pumping, you know, whatever videos out, but I was actually able to enjoy my time off and do other stuff. And then when I did get some free time and I got to do videos, that's awesome. But it allowed me more of time to enjoy what I'm making instead of forcing it to come out. So, but with that being said, guys, I'm gonna sit down here, play some PS5. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to, in the comments below, I mean, like I said, you don't ever have to call out any channels. I don't really like to be that kind of channel. Specifically, yes, I will use clickbait, but just along the lines of what over the years has caused you to stop watching certain channels or certain content, whether you outgrew it or just don't know anymore. So, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay retro, my friends. Have a good one.